They called him a genius entrepreneur, a billionaire CEO who appeared out of nowhere overnight. But what the world didn't know is that his empire was built on lies, fire, and the most dangerous crime of the century. This is the shocking story of Ethan Black, the man who fooled governments, billionaires, and the FBI itself. And when you find out how he became rich so fast, it will leave you speechless. Ethan wasn't born rich. In fact, he was nobody, a struggling graphic designer in the dark corners of Chicago, living in a cheap apartment with peeling walls. His only family, his aging grandfather, Richard, ran a failing printing press. It was the kind of place where honesty was printed on every page, but honesty didn't pay bills. And the world didn't care about dreamers. Ethan's best friend, Lucas, was the only one who understood the pain. They had grown up together, abandoned by their families, surviving on scraps, sharing hunger, sharing hope. But when the bank came to take away Richard's press, hope ran out. Desperation makes men dangerous. Ethan had a gift, an artist's hand so precise, so perfect, it could recreate anything. So he and Lucas tried something reckless. They printed money. The first batch was a joke. Cheap, flawed, detectable. But Ethan didn't give up. Night after night, he studied the finest details of currency, watermarks, microlines, invisible inks, until finally his work was flawless. Bills so perfect they slipped past scanners, banks, even the Federal Reserve. For the first time in his life, Ethan wasn't broke. But money attracts eyes. And the wrong eyes were already watching. Across the ocean, in Dubai, a shadow moved. Viktor Armanov, a billionaire crime lord who controlled a counterfeit empire stretching from Russia to Europe. But his empire was crumbling. New anti-counterfeit technology had wiped out his fortune. Then he heard about a rumor. An artist in Chicago whose fakes were undetectable. Viktor sent his men. And one night, Ethan and Lucas woke up to masks, guns, and a deal they couldn't refuse. Work for Viktor, or die. They were flown to a secret underground lab in Istanbul. Ethan looked around, printing machines worth millions, ink formulas guarded like nuclear codes. Viktor leaned in, smiling coldly. Make me a bill better than the U.S. Treasury itself. And Ethan did. A $500 bill so perfect, even Viktor's scanners failed to recognize it. Viktor was stunned. Within hours, $50 million was wired to Ethan's new offshore account. The broke artist was suddenly a millionaire. But Viktor didn't want millions. He wanted billions. The plan was insane. A Trojan horse. Smuggle $1.2 billion in fake U.S. currency into America through disguised shipments of medical supplies. Cargo containers would dock in Miami and New York. Once inside the country, the notes would spread like wildfire, funding gangs, black markets, elections. Ethan and Lucas executed it perfectly. Within weeks, counterfeit money was flowing across the U.S. economy. Stocks surged. Businesses thrived. Nobody suspected a thing. And Ethan? He wasn't just rich anymore. He was untouchable. The world saw him as a genius entrepreneur. He launched tech companies, bought skyscrapers, started a crypto empire to wash his dirty money clean. On magazine covers, he was the young visionary. But behind the empire, Ethan knew the truth. His empire was a house of cards, built on lies. But someone else knew too. The FBI's counterfeit division, led by Special Agent Marcus Hayes, had picked up the trail. Every fake bill had a flaw so small, so invisible, only Marcus could see it. A hidden signature. A microscopic E etched into the currency. The artist had left his mark. The hunt was on. Viktor demanded more. More money. More shipments. But Ethan's grandfather, Richard, discovered the truth. "You're playing with fire, Ethan," the old man warned, voice trembling. "This won't end with money. It will end with blood." Ethan didn't listen. But when Viktor's men set fire to Richard's printing press, burning down the only thing that ever mattered to Ethan, something inside him snapped. He wasn't Viktor's pawn anymore. He was ready to turn the tables. The FBI closed in during a high-stakes money drop in Los Angeles. Sirens blared. Lights flashed. Ethan stood there, surrounded. And then he did the unthinkable. He set fire to millions in counterfeit cash, flames lighting up the night sky. The fake empire turned to ashes before their eyes. "If I burn it," Ethan whispered, "no one owns it." The FBI thought they had him. But in the chaos, Ethan disappeared. To this day, no one knows where he went. Some say he died in Mexico. Others whisper he's in Monaco, living under a new name, running yet another empire. But one thing remains true. Ethan Black became a billionaire CEO overnight. Not through innovation, not through hard work, but through crime, betrayal, and an artistry so dangerous, it fooled the entire world. And if you're holding cash right now, look closely. You might just find his mark.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.